Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Free agent Steelers could sign to implement Arthur Smith's vision on offense in 2024. The Pittsburgh Steelers will likely soon part ways with veteran wide receiver Allen Robinson due to his high salary cap number in 2024. With that, new Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith seems likely bring in a receiver familiar with his scheme to fit the bill of their WR3, a position unlikely to see a large number of targets and who will be spending a lot of time blocking. Unfortunately, current Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Calvin Austin Jr. due to his stature is too small to box out defenders at his size of 5 feet 9 inches 162 pounds, he's just simply not going to win the line of scrimmage. He gives the effort, but a linebacker or a safety is just too tall of a task to ask him to routinely drive out the way. The options the Steelers could be considering bringing in would likely reduce his snaps on offense. Not all receivers are able to square up and truly block a defender, some really will just get in the way. However, for a team that wants to be run dominant like Pittsburgh does, the downfield blocking by the receivers will have to get markedly better in order to turn those explosive run plays of 20 yards into 40, or even 60-yard plays. There are several cost-friendly, block-first mindset receivers set to hit free agency this offseason that the Steelers could consider if they don't decide to bring Allen Robinson back on a smaller contract. Here are a few free agents the Steelers could consider in free agency at a salary cost to match those expectations, who have worked under Arthur Smith at his recent NFL stops. NFL journeyman Mack Hollins is not much of a receiving threat, that much is clear from his career average numbers of 21.8 receptions and 281.8 yards per season. However, he's exactly the kind of receiver you put out on the field to occasionally act as an extra tight end in the blocking game. Hollins still needs to be accounted for in the receiving game, however, so there's not a flashing red light on his head when he's out there that a running play is coming. Hollins is an older receiver, much in the way of veteran Allen Robinson, so they shouldn't commit too much money to him. However, he is a far superior blocker to Robinson if it comes down to a choice between the two. So, no one should be surprised if Robinson is released and Hollins comes in on a reasonable one-year deal as his replacement. Tennessee Titans wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is a younger alternative to both Mack Hollins and Allen Robinson as bigger body blocking options. There's the possibility of arguably more receiving potential with Westbrook-Ikhine versus Hollins, who outside of one season, hasn't done much as a receiver. Westbrook-Ikhine has posted 370-plus receiving yards and 3-plus touchdowns in each of his last 3 seasons. With him being a younger option, there's a more likely chance that the Steelers would possibly look to sign him to a longer deal than with an older player. Like Hollins, Westbrook-Ikhine shows up in the running game as a solid blocker. Wide receiver Van Jefferson arguably has the most receiving potential of the free agents connected to Arthur Smith, having never reached his full potential as a former second-round pick coming out of Florida. Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay could just never get Jefferson going with the Rams. This is a bit surprising, given Jefferson was paired up with Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, one of the league's better deep passers. The Rams ended up trading Jefferson to the Falcons in early October, though he failed to make a huge mark on the stat sheet, amassing just 12 catches for 101 yards over 12 games. However, you can't expect too much out of a midseason receiver acquisition. Antonio Brown reveals one regret from his time with the Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have drafted a lot of successful wide receivers since the late 90s, including Antonio Brown. His connection with Ben Roethlisberger during his 9 seasons with the Steelers helped them become one of football's best offenses. But that connection ran into some problems near the end of Brown's time in Pittsburgh, including an argument between the two that led to Brown skipping practices and being held out of a game. Now, Brown says he regrets the issues he had with Roethlisberger. "I love Ben. I was probably so hurt at that time I just blocked his number," Brown said February 24 on Vlad TV. "I made a life, changed my life as a player, coming into my own with Ben. First time I ever hit the starting lineup, Big Ben told Bruce Arians, 'Yo, I need AB at the X, so I don't think I ever had a problem with Ben, man. Me and Ben made some of the greatest football history moments of my life, you know, my kids grew up seeing it, Brown said. It sparked some of the greatness in my life. I feel like the media tried to create a war between us, but, man, I feel like me and Ben's IQ is so much the same. Sometimes I ran and created routes, and he'd throw me the ball. We had that relationship. The media makes it what it is, but I got nothing but love and joy for Ben. Roethlisberger and Brown had a ton of success during their time together in Pittsburgh, from 2010 to 2018. Along with Le'Veon Bell, the Killer Bees were one of the best offenses in football. In 9 seasons with the Steelers, Brown led the league in receiving yards in 2014 and 2017 and receptions in 2014 and 2015 and earned first-team All-Pro honors 4 times and 7 Pro Bowl nods. He also finished in the top 3 of Offensive Player of the Year voting in 2014, 2015 and 2017. In total, he had 837 catches for 11,207 yards and 74 touchdowns. H's time in Pittsburgh didn't have a happy ending as he ended up forcing his way off the team in 2019. Brown's career took a strange path after he left the Steelers. After Brown requested a trade during the 2019 offseason, the Steelers dealt him to the Raiders. His time in Oakland was a mess. He missed most of training camp because of frostbite on his feet stemming from a cryotherapy session. Brown then had very public issues with the team's GM that eventually led to him being released before he played a snap for the team. Brown signed with the Patriots the same day he was released by the Raiders. His stay in New England was also short-lived. He appeared in just 1 game before off-field issues led to him once again being released. Those issues kept him off the field for the rest of the season and led to him being suspended for the first 8 games of the 2020 season. During his suspension, Brown reunited with Tom Brady and former Steelers offensive coordinator Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay. They went on to win the Super Bowl that season. In 2021, Brown ran off the field during a Week 17 matchup against the Jets, marking the end of his time in the NFL. Bears ready, Steelers could land Justin Fields soon. The Pittsburgh Steelers are ramping up for the NFL Combine, where they'll get their best look at some of the NFL draft's top players, and sculpt a better idea of how they'll go about their rookie class. While there's an expectation trade talk will take place, and maybe that trade talk includes the Steelers. According to Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer, there's a sense the Chicago Bears could put the plans in place for a Justin Fields trade while at the NFL Combine. I think the bones of the trade will be set next week. There's some urgency on the Bears' part to get something done, Breer told ESPN Radio. The Steelers have been linked to Fields a number of times throughout the offseason. Head coach Mike Tomlin is reportedly a big fan of the Bears' quarterback, and even a team insider who believes Pittsburgh is looking to give Kenny Pickett another shot this season says he would be surprised if Fields ended up with the Steelers. Pittsburgh will have both Tomlin and general manager Omar Khan in Indianapolis for the NFL Combine, and there could be some trade talk between the two and the Chicago Bears front office about making a move happen. While it was expected to be a move after free agency, maybe the Steelers have another quarterback option on their roster by the time they return home from the NFL Combine. And you fan, what do you think of the Justin Fields situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.